Kalala Malak Yahweh Wa Yahushai Bahashem Raha Kwadash. Double honors to the elders of GMS Arua, blessings unto those men, and blessings and salutations to the Akim out there in truth, pushing this word in all sincerity. With that being said, Shalom Israel Barakatah. Today's lesson, Moscow snubs Israel at UNSC, at the UN Security Council. And this video goes to show you that tensions are extremely high, even at the UN Security Council, because tensions flared as Russian envoy Vasily Nebenzia led a walkout during the Israeli envoy of Gilad Erdan's address. And the move follows Russia's recent vote in favor of Palestinian statehood, signaling escalating diplomatic friction. So what many are seeing is prophecy unfolding before their very eyes. Many are seeking peace in these end times, but we are currently living in the time of war. That's why the scripture of Ecclesiastes 3:8 has said, Ecclesiastes 3:8, a time to love and a time to hate, a time of war and a time of peace. And everything has a season and a time. But as soon as that microchip of charagma is implemented upon the world, then cometh that greater destructive war to end all wars. As soon as that chip of deception comes, expect that third full-scale destructive war to emerge quickly, to come quickly. Now the opposite of love is hate, and the opposite of peace is war. And this is the perfect balance of the Lord, Yahweh Wa Yahushai, according to the scripture of Proverbs 11:1. We are not in the time of peace, but of war. That's why you're seeing all these proxy wars springing up, because prophecy is being fulfilled. The time of peace is long gone, and the time of war is now upon the minds of the nations, especially upon the mind of Benjamin Netanyahu. Not too long ago, Benjamin Netanyahu himself said that Israel will not agree to a ceasefire and that it was the time of war. And that war of Hamas has now shifted over to Iran. What the entire world is now witnessing firsthand are the first stages of World War III taking place. Esau Edom's earthly rulership draws to its final end, little by little. It's all happening according to prophecy, biblical prophecy. Not the Quran, not the Book of the Dead, but of biblical prophecy. So Benjamin Netanyahu right now has a lot on his plate. So does America. Peace talks have failed, and high tensions between the nations remain and still continue. We are currently in a dangerous time of war. And when it comes to the elders, along with the brotherhood, they have been warning you time and time again of these times to come for years. Even when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them. So there's no peace in sight. But with that being said, let's go over to 1 Thessalonians 5:3. 1 Thessalonians 5:3. For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them, as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. And when the rulers of Edom say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them. But as far as a woman with child having birth pains in stages, that's how this current war in the Middle East is unfolding. These small proxy wars will eventually lead to that greater war of Armageddon. These smaller proxy wars in the Middle East are the beginning stages of that greater, painful nuclear war that shall come. Let's put it that way. It first begins with that mild first stage, then it gradually grows to that final painful stage where they shall not escape. Babylon the Great is experiencing small birth pains as we speak, but the people of that nation have not really seen or witnessed the full force of what's to come. In that last birth pain, many shall fear and pass away. Many people are not prepared on those things to come, but the men of the Lord, on the other hand, prepare themselves spiritually through the scriptures. In order for righteousness to dwell on the earth, there first has to be destruction. 1 Thessalonians 5:4. But ye brethren are not in darkness, that that day should overtake you as a thief. Right. The scripture of 1 Thessalonians 5:2 has says, For yourselves know perfectly that the day of the Lord so cometh as a thief in the night. And a thief is not going to tell you when he comes to steal upon your house. He's going to show up at a time when you least expect it. But ye brethren are not in darkness, that that day should overtake you as a thief. So in other words, do not get caught slipping, but continue on that righteous path. And as far as the war with Iran and the Israeli state, that is the beginning stage of the prophecy of the least of the flock shall draw them out. And with that being said, let's go over to Jeremiah 50 and verse 45. Jeremiah 50 and verse 45. Therefore hear ye the counsel of the Lord, Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai, that he hath taken against Babylon, and his purposes, that he hath purposed against the land of the Chaldeans. Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Surely he shall make their habitation desolate with them. Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. This speaks about the Amalekites in the land of Israel today, the small hats. The Israeli state will be the ones to draw out America into World War III. Surely he shall make their habitation desolate with them, because the land of Israel shall be destroyed in the war, along with modern day Babylon the Great. This is the prophecy that the Holy Scriptures have foretold since its very beginning, since the very beginning. And Babylon the Great is America. Jeremiah 50 and verse 46. At the noise of the taking of Babylon, the earth is moved, and the cry is heard among the nations. The earth shall reel to and fro like a drunkard from the vast missiles raining down upon it. Babylon the Great shall be the lake of fire. And the cry is heard among the nations. This will take place when the people of the nations hear of the utter destruction of modern day Babylon the Great. The scripture of Revelation 18, 16, and 17 has said that in 1 hour, so great riches has come to naught, meaning to nothing. And the other people that are far off shall not cry due to her destruction. They shall cry because they could no longer sell their goods to Babylon the Great. The least of the flock shall draw them out, meaning that the Amalekites of the Israeli state will be the ones to draw out the Americans into World War III. Also, if Iran was to get attacked, that will also draw out the Russians to war, because they now have a Russian-Iranian strategic alliance with one another. The Russians are known as Gog and Magog and as the Medes according to the scriptures. And that Russian bear will come up against the West with their destructive missiles. That Iranian-Israeli war is the beginning stages of the Americans and the Russians getting involved, because those two are going to lock horns with one another. It's destined for them to fight. And are you not seeing many wars taking place in these end times? And also, did not Isaac tell Esau, Edom, that by the sword shalt thou live? Esau, Edom lives by the sword. And there are many videos now claiming that the Bible is true. It has always been the truth of the Lord, Yahweh Yahushai. Biblical prophecies are being fulfilled, while atheists and non-believers are still denying the validity of the scriptures. Does not the scripture of Psalm 68 and 11 say, the Lord gave the word, great was the company of those that published it? Yes. Also, the word is for the true nation of Israel, which consists of so-called Negroes, Latinos, Tainos, and Native American Indians. And this word does not go back void unto the Lord, Yahweh wa Yahushai. It shall get fulfilled and come to pass. Many people will soon come to a rude awakening once they see the Son of Man, Yahushua HaMashiach, that's the Son of Man, coming with the clouds of heaven. And guess what? You're not going to see a so-called white-skinned man. They have lied to you. Along with those whitewashings of those images. That's another reason why they want to take out the Russians, because they revealed the truth with those Russian icons. The truth is being revealed. And the end of Edom's rulership is coming to an end. Israel get right and return unto the Lord, Yahweh Yahushai, because great tribulation cometh. But with that being said, Ka'alallah Malak Yahweh wa Yahushai, Bahashem, Racha, Kodash, and double honors to the elders of GMS Ruel, blessings unto those men, and blessings and salutations to the Akim out there in truth, pushing his word in all sincerity. With that being said, Shalom Israel, Barakatah.